Doing I'm home. Doing I'm home. Doing, where are you? Where's my food?
Dear Tosan, this was not the love you promised me. This was not what you sold to my family and friends. You knew I had other options, but you convinced me you were the best man for me. But alas, 6 years of misery. I gave you 2 beautiful children, and yet that wasn't enough. I sacrificed my career, friends and family for you, and that still wasn't enough. You reduced me to nothing before the world, and now you crown my sufferings with news of a child from your mistress. I choose not to continue with this fight anymore. I can't bear the shame and the humiliation. I can no longer deal with this loneliness. Nobody to talk to. Nobody to share my day. Nobody to lean on. You left me naked without a covering. This is not the marriage I signed up for. I have left this world for you, so you can have your freedom. Please, bury me quietly, but make sure you don't cry over my dead body, because I will clap over your head if you try and deceive anyone that you are bereaved. Tosan, I promise you one thing. I have gone, but I will haunt you from wherever I am. You will know no peace. Goodbye.
And Jesus answered him, The first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And second is like, namely this, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There's none other commandment greater than these. It's quite sad that Doyin had to kill herself in the name of love. Is that really love though? Many will differ on this. Some will say, until you wear a person's shoes, you can't judge. The truth is that I'm not judging. Rather, I'm trying to situate what love really is in the context of our relationships. When I say relationships, I mean all relationships. It could be husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, parent and child, between siblings, friends, colleagues, or the relationship with a stranger. I have heard so many cases of people who have let marriage or relationships destroy their health or completely derail them from God's plan for their lives. They drink from the cup of bitterness and it destroys body and soul. Sickness sets in and then your life is cut short. Meanwhile, he or she who you blame is living their best life and more often than not, completely oblivious of your deep-seated angst. This is madness. And when we do this, we always say, but I love him, or I love her. This is not love. If you love him or her, you won't see the wrong that is killing you. Love sees only good. Love sees no wrong. Slice it and dice it however you will. Love sees no wrong. I am tired of hearing how an unhappy marriage or relationship led to someone's demise. And then the story is always crowned with, she loved him too much. Please stop this rough play. That's not love. Some people actually quit their jobs because of a colleague. Really? Is it that serious? We can also stay years without speaking to our siblings or parents. Friends, forget it. We change them every day for reasons such as, she's wicked, he's useless, he's jealous of me, she's too stingy. He's always begging, she was gossiping about me. She always wants to borrow bags, clothes, shoes, money, etc. Does this sound familiar? What of the relationship with our leaders? We hate them, they hate us more. There's just no love anywhere, and it all stems from the fact that we don't love ourselves. I have this problem with one of my security men. He looks gay, walks gay and sounds gay. That's his problem, right? Here's my challenge. Anytime I call him, he comes running to me, smiling and licking his lips. It creeps me out. Am I sugar? Why is he licking his lips? I always have to counsel myself about this whole notion of judging that someone is gay because of the way they walk, look, or talk. And even if he is, I just have to differentiate between the human being and what he does. Joshua said, love your neighbors as you love yourself, but it's impossible to give what you don't have. He started by telling us how to love God with all our heart, might, mind, and soul. This is also how we should love ourselves with all our heart, might, mind, and soul. But we can't do this. We don't like ourselves. How is that possible, you ask? How can I not like or love myself? It's very simple. What you like or love is what occupies our heart, mind, and soul, and we give our all to it. Here are the things that take the place of love of self. Top 3 are power, sex, and wealth. Then you have the subsets such as cars, shoes, bags, houses, girlfriends and boyfriends, career, position, food, alcohol, luxury, idols, fame, vanity, etc. We'll do anything for these things and deceive ourselves that these things are an extension of ourselves. They occupy our minds, heart, and soul, and we chase them with all our might. This is what we love. This is what we devote our lives to, and this is why we have no space to love God's self or mankind. Doyin loved the position of being wife to Tosan more than she loved Tosan. Everything she saw as a problem was a problem to this position that she so desperately craved. This is one of the biggest challenges to all relationships. We care more about the status the relationship confers on us than we care about our partners. We care more about the perception people have of our relationship than we care about our partners. What will people say has ruined so many marriages? What are you ashamed of? There's no shame in love. What has love not seen? Love sees all. Love covers all. Doyin didn't love herself, hence she could contemplate suicide. Again, I emphasize that you can't give what you don't have. This is the challenge to loving your neighbors as yourself. We haven't begun to love God. We never loved ourselves. How then can we love mankind? Let me tell you the story of someone who was in a situation similar to that of Doyin. In the late 70s, there was a new wife and mother called Laurie who was struggling to get by. Her family lived in a mobile home as her husband attended school. She felt isolated, and this was made worse by not having the means to make long-distance calls to friends and family. Sad and lonely, one morning during her quiet time, she grabbed her guitar and said to God, "Would you give me a song you would like to hear?" This is how the song, "I Love You, Lord," which is sung in almost every church, was born. The love of God healed her home and marriage. We have to learn to see everything through the lenses of love. When you wear the glasses of love, it will be difficult to see fault. God put on the spectacles of love, and the lenses have the love of his only son, Yehoshua. He looks at us through the lenses of the love of his son, hence he sees you as pure and blameless. He finds no fault in you. This is why the Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. If you see sin, then love is absent. If you see fault, then love doesn't exist. There's no middle ground. Today is a new day. It's a good day to start loving God. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. God bless you all.
Doyin wake up.
No, son! Do you think I will kill myself over you? You are a joker. It is either we die together or I kill you first.
My soul.